Hey, Tony here from Bikeberry. It's good to see you all. Today we're at Kickapoo State Park and we're testing all those sprockets. So we have two tests that we've done. One is a flat lane and then the other one is up a hill, which has about a 7-degree rise. But it was quite a challenge just to get the bike up it with the smaller sprockets. And then this big old 56 definitely proved its worth climbing up to the top. So join us for the ride. Let's roll. All right, so here's the tool selection. We have a speed gun, that way we can check miles per hour in the distances that we are. I got my helmet, my gloves, but here's all our sprockets. Actually, at the point we're doing this now, I've got the big one on there, all my tools, and the boys are here helping me, so say hey, boys.
Hey.
So as for our test subject, we have the F-Zero that I've been putting together over the last couple of weeks. It's been quite the journey getting this guy together. I will say that overall, it's actually very stock in its performance. I have not done any porting. There's no upgraded CDI. There's no fancy carburetor. It's just an NT carb with a basic offset. And it really, I've only ran maybe a tank of gas through this. So it's not even really had a full break-in. But it does have, you know, the machined head to keep it cool and everything. The only performance thing I think I would say that I have on here is the expansion chamber, which is the Bikeberry Deluxe. I have a silencer on there. But overall, it's stock, which I think emulates a lot of you guys when you're getting a new kit and you want to start testing things out. So again, barely broke in, brand new engine, very stock. If you look up here, I did add a speedometer so that I could see when I would hit 20 miles an hour, just for my own indication of while I'm riding the bike. But yeah, so overall, it's just a good basic stock condition that I think be the same for any of you guys. So first up, here's our flat stretch. It's around 262 feet. That was about the distance that I needed to basically go from almost 0 to 20. You know, I'm going about 5 miles an hour pedaling with the engine running, and then I dump the clutch at these marker points. You can see these guys here. I actually had a red strap on the side of the road here, you know, laid out in the same area as those. But I was over working on the bike at my truck over there, and somebody had picked it up and taken it because they thought somebody dropped it. So I had to switch to these orange markers because then they thought they were part of the parks, you know, stuff. So nobody's bothered them. But as you'll see in the videos when I start showing those of testing out the sprockets, what I did is I would pedal, you know, maybe 10 or 15 feet before it so that I was under pedal assist. You know, 8 miles an hour just pedaling, then I would dump the clutch and then let it rip all the way. Okay, so that was my best scenario from 0 to, you know, 20 miles per hour. And I noticed definitely there was a difference between the smaller sprockets to the big ones. It took pretty much, I had to get to the last two to really notice a big difference. The other ones were kind of marginal, and I think you could test those in your own situation and see how they worked. But I mean, I definitely love 36. I'll live with that probably forever. But if I lived in a hiller area, you know, somewhere where there's a lot of hills, I'm in Flatland, Illinois, by the way. If I lived in a place that had a lot of hills, then yes, I would definitely creep up there in one of those bigger ones. So what I would do is I would start the bike up, ride it down to that parking lot down there. You can see those vans down there. I would turn around down there, and then I would come back so the engine's good and warm. And as I approached, I would go under my own pedal assist on my own, and I would dump the clutch then at this spot where the markers are at. All right, so this is our hill incline area testing ground here. What we did is the same thing where I would pedal the bike all the way down there, turn around, and I would come back, and then I would go under my own, I would pull in the clutch, go under my own pedal assist, I would hit this point and dump the clutch, zip up on the hill. So let's take a walk up the hill. So the bottom of this is 588 feet above sea level. The very top is 634 feet above sea level, and it's about a 7-degree grade for the whole stretch of it, but giving a total of 544 feet long from the bottom to the top. So that really tested every single sprocket that we had. And I would say on the smaller ones, there wasn't as big a difference as there was until we got to the last two. So let's take a walk and just so you can see visually how steep this hill is. I think it represents pretty average what most of you are gonna run into. Come on. You can see the grade as we go, but I'll walk up there so you can see the difference. Well, here we are back in the shop after all that riding up and down the road and the hill. I hope that was valuable for you. I'm going to go into real world scenarios right now, but as you can see, we get in the shop and what I got? A flat tire. It's a good deal. I got a whole bunch of inner tubes. I'll be able to change that rear tire out and we'll get rolling again. But what I want to talk about is real world applications when changing your sprocket. There's a lot of parameters that I chose. One being a new engine that really is halfway broke in, so it's really not reaching its full potential yet. I set the idle a little high. I did a pedal start, to 20 and a pedal start to climbing up the hill. So that way, as you increase your performance, those numbers will just get better for you and will for me too. I think we'll do one down the road. Like now we have one in a stock condition, no porting. Yeah, we have a, expansion chamber, but there's nothing really performance oriented about this engine yet. Real world applications for you, if you just got an engine in, I want it to be the same as what you might experience. So you get a new engine in, you throw it on the bike, you live in a hilly area and you're like, man, this 36 tooth just isn't cutting it. You'll know what to jump up to because of the information that I'm about to present to you. So real world applications, if you look at this one, let's do what I called Bikeberry Trail, the flat 20 mile per hour test. Now, I went down, I warmed up the engine, I had the idle a little high, I pedaled, so it was under my own pedaling power, throw the clutch, get to 20. And you'll see it's consistent, really, sprocket to sprocket. You could see that 36 was, 3.96 seconds. 40 was 5.27 seconds. 44 was 5.58. 48 was 5.92. 56 was 7.61 seconds. So what we did also is we did these tests 3 times each, and it was almost always within a few seconds of those numbers. So in my experience, that's pretty accurate for the situation that we are in. Obviously it took twice as long to get the 56 tooth, but there's a lot of people, I bet you would be pretty happy with a 44, a 40 or a 44, and then increase so I guess here's how I think of it. Early on, when the engine isn't broke in yet and you're just riding around, you're trying to get it, and you're trying to figure this thing out and how to make it better because, this isn't a plug and play hobby. It's a tinkering and a figuring out and, just always trying to make it better and learning and everything. In the beginning, every day, easily I'll throw the 56 tooth on to do some hills, right? But as the bike gets better, I would probably throw the 40 and 44 on and it'll go up it because the engine will be able to handle it. Early on, engine's not broke in yet. It's not really high performance. 36 couldn't even get up, all the way at all. Like it bogged down. I let it go. If you look at the video footage, I let it go probably a little too long. So as you can see, that's good data for you to know. Engine break-in period, early on riding, just throw a big one on there. I think you'll do fine. If you're in a really hilly area, more than I have experienced here, you'll definitely want it, even if you get your engine more high performance. So I hope that really helps you in the flat test, really tell you the difference between each one. And then let's go to the hill climb test. We called it Bikeberry Hill. Start, finish, the scenario. I pedaled, I had my carburetor a little racy, pop the clutch, go up the hill. 36, obviously in the picture here, just for clarity, I made it about halfway, but it made it probably, I would say, two-thirds of the way, about 2/3 of the way up there. 40 and 44 were about 6, 8, 10 feet past that, before they bogged out and I felt like I had to, pull the clutch in. But then as soon as we put 48 on there, it had enough power. Wasn't as good as the 56, but it had enough power and it really creeped up over the top and then it made it. Like I didn't ever feel like I had to pull in the clutch. I knew it would still keep going. I could tell. 56, it just powered right up it, no problem. So again, we did each of these tests 3 times and everything was the same. So again, once you get your engine more, built out, more high performance, it's running better and all of that, I think you could step between if you want to do some serious hill climbing, 44 and 48, you'll probably do it. And then you'll have speed and you'll have 44 land than the 48, but you'll still have some speed if that's what you want, and also hill climbing ability. So that's the two things that I saw was new engine, getting it broke in. You don't have it that powerful yet. The wider the range of sprockets that you have, I mean, I would go 36 normal running on like what you see me ride here all the time to 56 if I was going to go to that park and ride all the hills. That's what I would do. In between, I think I would mess around with it depending on where you live. So my thought is this totally. Get all of the sprockets. Obviously start with a good quality 36, the machined aluminum, and I would get a 56 if your bike can handle it. Now it's a big sprocket. I mean, where are we at here? If you see, it's literally the size of my face, bigger than my face. So I don't even have a tape measure here around me to tape measure. Oh, actually I do. Let's see. So yeah, this sprocket is 9, right? Yeah, 9 inches across. So that's a big sprocket. Like this wouldn't fit. This wouldn't fit on my black bike, the old Schwinn, but it fit really great on the F-Zero. So, anyway, thank you for watching. I hope this helped you out. I hope it helped you pick out a proper sprocket for your application. My advice, I would buy a few of them, one on each end, the 56, 36, and then I would get like the 44 in the middle, and then play around with those and, enjoy your riding. So that'll give you a really good, sprockets, but having them all would be awesome, right? Anyway, thank you. I appreciate you. We got more to come. We got chain tensioner video coming up pretty soon. We're going to post it in a week or so. And that'll help you pick out the right chain tensioner and my opinion on them, because I'm all about strong mechanics and things working well. I don't like to do a bunch of work just for it to break on me. So take care. Let's roll.